What's going on, boys and girls? Today we will be solving. Yesterday was factoring. Today we are solving. Let's go ahead and get started. We're solving for h on this one. So the first thing we do is multiply by 2. So I get 2a equals little ah plus little bh. Next thing I'm going to do is factor out an h. So I get 2a equals h and then a plus b. Last thing we do is divide both sides by a plus b. Divide by a plus b. So that means my h is 2a over a plus b. Boom, shakalaka. Number 2 works the exact same way, except now we're solving for b, but everything works the same way. So we first multiply by 2, then I'm going to subtract ah, so I get 2a minus little h equals bh. And the last thing we do is divide both sides by h, and so b is going to be capital 2a minus little ah over h. Pretty easy. Number 3, got to use substitution just like we did yesterday. So rewrite that as ex squared minus 2e to the x minus 8 equals 0. And we're going to use u substitution. We're going to let u equal e to the x. So we're going to have, u squared minus 2u minus 8 equals 0. I guess I didn't need that parentheses after all. Then we factor. So it's going to be u minus 4 and u plus 2. So that means u is 4 and u is negative 2. But remember, we're trying to solve for x, not u. So that would mean e to the x is 4 and e to the x is negative 2. Now, there's not any number that I can raise e to make it negative 2. So you're out. Negative 2. Sorry about you. Last thing I'm going to do is take the natural log of both sides. The x goes out in front, natural log of e cancels out, so x is natural log of 4. Now that's just a number. I'll just leave it like that. Okay. Number 4, probably the hardest one on this entire page because we have to multiply everything by the denominators. So x minus 1, x plus 2, and 4. So we're going to get x plus 2, x minus 1, and 4. Plus x minus 1, x plus 2, and 4 equals 5 times x minus 1, x plus 2, and 4. And all of our denominators are the same as before. Next thing I do is I cancel what I wanted to out, which is my denominators. So I got 4 and then x plus 2 plus 4 and then x minus 1 equals 5 times all that gobbledygook. I'm going to go down here. All right. So we distribute and we multiply, do all that fun stuff. So we get 4x plus 4 plus 4x minus 4 equals 5 times x squared plus x minus 2. I feel like I made an error somewhere. Yeah, because that's 8. Silly me. Alright, so then I add everything together. I get 8x plus 4 equals 5x squared plus 5x minus 10. Last thing I'm going to do before I factor is get all that stuff on the other side. So I get 5x squared minus 3x minus 14. Now our factors of that, we do AC method or the magic method. Either way, we're going to start with that. That gives me negative 70. So factors of negative 70 that add up to negative 3x. That is going to be negative 10 and positive 7. So we can divide both of these by 5 using the magic method. And so I get x minus 2 and 5x plus 7. Now the last thing to do is to solve that for x. So we set each part equal to 0, so x would be 2, and x is negative 7/5. Hard problem, long problem. Rewind it, go watch that again because that was brutal. 2 left. Number 5, we're going to use u substitution again. Lots of us want to know when we can use u substitution. Best way is when we have 3 terms and we can only factor something out of 2 of them. So obviously, I think it's obvious, u is going to be x squared minus 4. So I'm going to have u squared minus 3u minus 10 equals 0. Sorry about my using my 4s here. So we're going to have u and u. So it's going to be minus 5 and plus 2. So each part equals 0, so that means u is 5 and u is negative 2. Oh, we're not looking for u, we're looking for x. So that means x squared minus 4 equals 5, and x squared minus 4 equals negative 2. Solve for x. So add 4, I get x squared equals 9, but x is not just 3, it's plus or minus 3. And here we get x squared equals 2. Take the square root just like we did up there. Excuse me. Then we get plus or minus square root of 2. We're just going to leave that as our answer. All right. And last one, number 6. We only have 2 terms, believe it or not. Believe it or not. One term there, one term there. So what can I take out of both terms? That's what we're looking at here. So I can take out an x squared and a 2x minus 6 3 times. So what I'm left with is a 4, a 2, and an x out of the first term. Out of the second term, I'm left with a 3 and a 2x minus 6. Anytime we're using brackets, stuff gets a little crazy. Don't get overwhelmed. So then that's going to be 8x plus 6x minus 18. So x squared, 2x minus 6 cubed, and then 14x minus 18. Now just like we did before, once we get to this step, it, by the way, all equals 0 still. And we're going to take each part and set it equal to 0. 3 mildly difficult problems. X squared equals 0. 2x minus 6 cubed equals 0. And 14x minus 18 equals 0. The first one is super duper easy. The only number that can be squared and make 0 is 0, so x has to be 0. The second one, take the cube root of both sides. I get 2x minus 6 equals 0. So that means x is 3. And one more, add x to both sides. Sorry, no, not x, add 18. So I'm going to end up getting 18 fourteenths, which is 9 sevenths. All right. Good luck, guys. Catch y'all later. Bye-bye.